get involved in that public sewer system over again. You've intervened before, and you've spent a lot of dollars. Today, I'd like to just give you some numbers. I know it's hard for you all to really look at it again, but right here's what was when the project was stopped. This is the numbers we had. This is from the PSC, an application for necessity and convenience. And at the bottom there, I kind of yellow lined it. It was a not exceed $21 million. It was $17 million. Not exceed $21 million. Then over on page 5, it was a $54 a month fee, and that was the price of the system at that time.
Which page was that, Colonel?
On page 5. On February the 24th, the PSD again applied for the same application, and this is it on February the 24th of this year. Those rates, as you can see, it was on page. I highlighted it back here, a couple pages back.
7128.
$71.28 a month for a single resident home or within a 2 or 3 bedrooms.
Also, the estimated cost of projects now $27 million. Is that right?
It was $27 million. That's exactly right. This is, and on the back of that, you notice if you want to intervene, you send your intervening thing to one person. Then they came out on again in March. That was February the 24th. This is March the 4th. They came out with another one, which was basically the same thing. Only then they had to supposedly advertise these things in the paper and with 30 days. And again, at the back they give you 30 days to intervene. Now, I don't understand how you can intervene with something when you don't have nobody's been notified. For people over there has not been notified of the rate, but still, on the first order, this intervening status is till back to the 24th of this month. It's over this month. So, I don't understand what the PSC will actually do about that, because you can't hardly intervene until you know about it, until you know what's going on. But in that, you send this one to Sandra Squire. It's 2 different addresses, so maybe where you have to intervene twice, or I don't understand it. The PSC, I'm not sure they understand. Back in 05, that's when
same PO Box 812, but
yeah, different address.
Farrell and the other is Sandra Squire.
In 05, that first sheet is what we had when we give the landowners over give their properties for the right-of-ways. We give it for the good of the county, collectively and individually, but collectively for the county to put in infrastructure that would benefit the county. Even though we knew the rates was $52, we thought that was high, but it was for the good of the county, and we'd go along with that. And we give these free of charge, everybody did, to the county. And these are contracts. We have kept up our end of the bargain, and I think the county commission should keep up their end of the bargain. This is a contract. Right after 05, then the commissioners changed, and they intervened through Hannah. They hired Hannah, and I don't know how much taxpayers' dollars the county spent to stop this project. But I'd like to know that if anybody could tell me that. Does anybody know how much the county is spending the taxpayers' dollars to stop this project?
Mr. Friel, we did have Mr. Hannah as legal counsel at the time to intervene on that. Stop the project is opinion, and not the perspective I share, of course. And we've talked
Okay,
about
look on page 9.
We certainly have those numbers, we can get those for you.
Yeah, I'd like to get them. Page 9 of this document. It's, it says right here, was the next witness to testify was Dave Fleming, President of the Pocahontas County Commission, which is an intervener. Mr. Fleming stated the project endorsed district would save about $10 million.
At the time, that was the estimate.
$10 million you was going to save when you start this project. That's on page 9. And now the project was 27 million. But that's not a good number. That's not a good number. If you would take, in 2005, we had 1,981 customers up there. And our rate was going to be $54 a month. That was enough to build a sewage system. Now those rates are $71.28. And I scribbled some stuff on here.
Okay, thank you.
And for you to look at, that page you that on that right there. I've got a couple of notes. But if you take the difference between those $2, from 54 to 71, that's $16.83 a month. You times that by 12 months per customer, times 2,351 customers, times 40 years, the life of this loan, that's another 18, almost 19 million. In fact, it goes over 19 million if you take into account, you're not counting these other 300 customers we had in 2005. Almost 400 customers. So it's about, the project now is costing us over $20 million more. And at a time, you were saying you're going to save us $10 million.
That was the estimate at the time. That's
Yeah,
correct.
that's what you testified to in court.
Right. I think at that time, the project was, the first project was supposed to be around 25 million. And
they're doing two things over there that,
15 million,
yeah,
$10 million.
they're doing two things over there. It's not necessary. One's an MVR. They're an O&M cost. Now you can see, this right here is 18 million or $20 million. That has to be O&M costs on this project. And why is the O&M cost that much higher than this other cost? It's MVRs is one thing. The other thing is all the pumps are putting in, all the pump system. We've already given the right of ways for a gravity fed. And now and then if you're on that same paper I give you there, you can look and see that the county commission, y'all said you wasn't going to condemn property. Well, we've got a problem here, If the state law says if you go by somebody's house, you got to hook up. So and if we don't give another right of way, which we're going to have to do, the county commission going to condemn it now? Before you said you wasn't? So I guess I'm asking y'all to intervene again. What you do, I don't know. But you're setting the rates for the whole county. This $71 a month is, I can look at any of you all in here, and who can afford, if anybody can afford that rate, they need to speak up, because my guess is no one wants to pay $71 a month. That's higher than my electric bill for sewage.
Highest in the state.
Highest in the state.
Highest in the state.
So, I mean, what do you do about it? I don't know. But the county commission has got us into this problem. I'm just asking you to get us out of it.
Thank you, Mr. Freeland.
In the past. Then the pumps and system right here is Preston County and Kingwood. Today, right there it is. They're taking out all their pumps. They had a pump system, 100 pumps. They're taking them out, putting them in gravity fed because it's too costly to operate. Right there's a report. Somebody wants to read it. So that's.
Mr. Freeland, thank you for.
But you got to, I guess this week to intervene or whatever. I don't understand it. but I think you need to intervene and really study the system. And it's so costly that it's like I said, if you're setting a state or you're setting a count rate for the whole county, if you put in a system at Buckeye or anywhere else or up there Arborville, Green Bank, that's the rates they're going to pay. It's more than people can afford.
Now, didn't you state, whenever we talked about this last week, that there could be more than one PSD?
Yeah, about the rates.
I'm kind of confused on that still because I've got a lot of mixed opinion on that.
Sure, let me speak to that. I made a few notes here, Mr. Friel, to try to address the concerns and questions you bring up. I guess I got three things here that came to mind as you were speaking. First of all, regarding the right-of-ways, I understand now from being at, I don't think the most recent PSD meeting, I think there's been one since, but within a month I attended the PSD meeting, and the PSD voted to retain Mr. Doss to look at the right-of-way issue, to examine the right-of-ways again. It needs to be redone since the line's going to follow the highway, I believe. So that's the action the PSD's taken on that. As for the existing agreements that you have, I asked about that, and what they tell me is that those agreements are not something that's held to by contract. We don't have to fulfill those. But if we were going to go that way with the line, the PSD was going to go that way with the line, that then they would have to honor those agreements. But the plan has changed since then, so we're not obligated to hold to those agreements if the pathway has changed. And I think that's where the PSD is at.
There's two things when we give these right-of-ways. We knew the price, we knew where it was going, and that's the reason we give them for nothing. And to me, these are contracts with the county, and you still got the properties. We can't do a daggone thing with that piece of property today because you had these contracts for 10 years. We're very close, between 04 and 05, and I don't think you got it right. I don't think you've got the right to back out of something that the county has promised the citizens and we agreed to. And that's what you're doing.
I understand, Mr. Friel, that you're thinking on the matter. I think as the plan has evolved and changed and